Video. Camera mode.
Hey everybody, what's up?
Notification volume 0%.
Whoops. Anyway. Alright, well here we are. I'm going to go ahead and show you something here. Oh, did my flash come on? It did. Anyway, so I bought these cables and I have to tell you something about it. It's just, looks like it's going to be shaping up to be a very nice, beautiful, bright day out there today. I'm very excited about that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and show this puppy to you. Now, this is DH Labs Silversonic Reunion cable. Look at this damn thing. Look at that. Whew. Isn't that a cable? Whoo, baby. That is one big fat Ethernet cable with a big old connector on the end of there. Look at that thing. It's unreal. Like the entire connector. The clip is kind of, it's got like a, excuse me, it's kind of stiff. It's running away from me. Kind of set down in there like in a channel in the connector. The whole connector is just smartly, superbly done. Very nice. It's got this nice little kind of rubber thing, and then of course this very beautiful braided kind of nylon thing that you might see on some other cables. And you know, I love this thing, guys. I am in love with these cables. There are any number of Ethernet cables that you could get out there, but I looked all over the place. My three main suggestions I came down to, now I was looking at, everything you could type in for Cat 8 Ethernet, whole bunches of names came up. You know, Monoprice, AudioQuest, Wire World, any number of cables did in fact come up. However, this one had a higher width gauge rating than any other cable that I saw. So this is 22 AWG. And I mean, you know, you're looking at my fingers there. That is, you know, the sucker's almost as big as my freaking index finger. That is, you know, it's a good size cable here. And you could tell it's solid core. This whole wire is very stiff. It's just really solid. So it's you can tell it's a solid core wiring in there. So pretty stiff. And the other cables that I came down to, again, I came down to like three. A whole bunch of them were just way too small of gauge. 26, 28, 24 gauge, and I'm going, no, I don't think so. And it came down to three. It came down to the Wire World Starlight Category 8 Ethernet and the AudioQuest. I can't even remember. I was going to say vodka, but I don't think so. I think that's their HDMI, to be honest with you. Anyway, you know how they're weird, crazy name scheme. So to be honest, I don't remember the name. But it was Category 7, and it was twice the price of this, guys. Twice the price, $400. Now, this one you're looking at here is the one that's connected to my multi-gig port on the Netgear, the Nighthawk anyway, the Netgear Nighthawk X12. So I have this plugged into the, you know, the multi-gig on the back there. It has a multi-gig over here on this end. So I have this plugged in there for the Xbox, of course. So it's plugged into the Xbox. And I have been using it for all kinds of things. Streaming, you know, and all that. But anyway, this is their maximum length cable, 5 meters. And this is $280. Okay? So I'm not going to lie to you. That's expensive. However, Wire World was about the same and had just about the same kind of specs. It, however, was a gauge smaller in terms of the actual stranding inside. Was an entire gauge smaller, 23 AWG, American width gauge, for those of you who don't know what that means. This was 22 gauge and Cat 8, which outbeats the AudioQuest, because AudioQuest was not a Category 8 cable. It was a Category 7, twice the price, okay, with the same type of things inside. This had 10% silver coated, oxygen free, high conductivity copper. So, not that that's being too specific about the copper inside, but if it says OFHCC, it should be good enough. Um, so it should be, a pretty good cable. Um, for the most part, they're not going to put that stamp on something unless it's pretty good high conductivity copper. It's pretty pure copper, in other words. So it has also, like I said, 10% silver plating on the outside of these conductors, the same as the Starlight or the Audio Quest. But it seemed really odd to me that this thing is, uh, you know, about half the price and a lot better cable. I mean, one, it's an entire category faster. It's Cat 8, and it's an entire AWG larger gauge, right? So it's 22, not 23. So it is a larger gauge cable because, of course, as you go down, the actual wire gets bigger. Okay. So that kind of threw me for a loop. I thought, man, you know, uh, why pay that? Why would you pay that, right? If you could find something like this that's going to do the job better, and quite frankly, I believe you're getting more for your money. I have enjoyed this. Again, I've started using it um, on everything: music, watching movies, uh, any number of things. Obviously, downloading games, things like that. Lightning fast, um, lightning fast, beautiful sounding and looking. And with this cable, I've noticed a huge difference in the quality of, like, my bass got better, weirdly enough. So, in terms of the other stuff, it seems to be about, um, hmm, I would say it's a little more noticeable than the other cables that I've been using. Let me plug this in, and I want to show you here because, man, this thing is snug. Okay, and I want to just show you how that puppy locks in there because I think that's important. If you're one of these people wanting to get a cable there, and just watch this. But check this out. Look. Get on in there. Oh, holy shit. All right, hold on. Are you in there? Crazy thing. I think I was blind or something. All right. It's probably because I'm doing this one-handed with the phone in my hand trying to catch your video. There we go. Ooh. And it snaps in just super snug and delightful. Like, it just has this really, strong connection there. Really strong. Now, I had purchased this one prior, the one that goes from my modem to the router here, and I was so impressed I got a second one. That's how much I really, really love this. Now, these start at $180. Okay, this one here was a $235 with shipping, 238 with shipping, $228 cable. Okay, well, pardon me, a little bit of a sniffle there. I apologize. Now, let me show you these. These are my other cables I've been using previous to that. Now, this is pretty nice cable. This is made by Hardwire. Got an itch on my face. And Hardwire is an introductory brand to transparent. So apparently this is like a teaser entry brand to transparent. Now, if you look at that, the size difference is pretty negligible between this and that. I would imagine the stranding, obviously with this, it's a far more flexible cable. I would imagine is not solid core, or at least not as solid core as the other cable, because it is, again, far more flexible than that one. It doesn't have a braided nylon. This is kind of a somewhat rough feeling rubber outside kind of texture, just a rubber but still, good quality cable. Now, these are, you know, $70 cables for the length I got. These are 15 feet. Um, and they're good. I'm not going to complain. They certainly have great quality when you're streaming. They do a pretty good job. But I thought, you know what? Okay, let me put this back over here. I just kind of was looking at it like this. Something, I spent enough money on this rig that it seemed, and we'll click that in too so you can kind of, get that. Yeah, both have a good satisfying click, nice solid seat in there. The question is, well, why would you do this? Why would you spend that much money? Can I be honest with you? Okay, this router is, it's my Netgear, and Nighthawk X12, $600. Okay, or excuse me, $500, $499.99, right? So yeah, it's very nice. I turned everything off because I'm going to be switching cables. And this one, I've loved the look of it. This one, I've had Nighthawks in the past. This one was really great looking. They did a great job with design with this. But this is expensive, right? I've got the CM1200 over here on my floor, down there somewhere off in the distance. And the CM1200 is $180 modem, right? Plus something. I paid for warranties and all that with these. So let me be perfectly clear. If you're serious about your internet like I am, if you're wanting no compromise performance in terms of streaming, especially high resolution music. Why? Because that's what I do all the time. I am the blind guy, super blind man, right? And you don't want to compromise. You don't want to have anything less than the best. I can tell you right now, I just found it. Again, these are DH Laboratories. Oh, sorry, power cable. These are DH Labs, anyway. Silversonic Reunion Category 8 Ethernet cables. And that thing is freaking stiff. Get off my speaker. It's wrapped around everything. Anyway, it's stiff as shit. Look at that. That freaking thing's unforgiving. Anyway, DH Labs Silversonic Reunion Cat 8 Ethernet cable, 22 AWG, dual concentric dielectric or something like that to do concentric like shielding. I don't know how they work that or what it's from. I have no idea. I just know this is a really badass cable. The connector on the end of there is like a two-piece metal thing that, let me show you. Okay, look at that. It's like separated, okay, into two pieces. And so you can tell that whatever machine they use, they clamp it on, and you can feel the border between there. But I mean, it's solid, really, really well built. That is a big box on the end of that sucker. Gold plated on the end here, where you've got your connectors in there. Sorry, I was focused off somewhere else. I'm blind. Give me a break. Anyway, gold plated connectors on the end. And again, just it just gives a solid, satisfying, solid click into there. You have to really manipulate it because of the stiffness of the cable, but click. I mean, boom. That just makes you feel all happy and secure. It just has a great feel to it. It really does. Very well made cable. You can feel it. It's visceral. It's a nice cable. It's something you want to almost just kind of look at every day rather than using, right? Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I love it. The performance enhancements that I have had while using it, again, bass was very obvious, and I didn't know why. I thought, well, that's kind of strange that bass would improve that way. it didn't improve, it just seemed more pronounced. In the sense that all the little details came out. I don't want to say pronounced. It's not like it increased in volume or anything. It increased in clarity and quality. So no matter what I'm watching, there was more bass there that was more detail of the bass that was there rather than, more bass being there. I felt it was more pronounced and just felt better. Sound altogether is much nicer. The video seems a little less noisy, so I don't get as much like black going gray on my LCD, and that's always usually pretty pronounced. So it's made differences for sure, and I've really liked that. Openness also has been something I've noticed there. Hold on. Oh man, I apologize. Anyway, must be something. I'm mildly allergic to coming in the window. Anyway, but yeah, openness and clarity really stood out to me with this cable. Everything, rooms that people were in and studios sounded more airy, and everything sounded more free. So that's a sign there that there is a lot less noise involved in the transfer of data from one point to the next. So that's made me extremely happy. I like that. I think it's great. Anyone looking to upgrade their system, take it to that next level, give it a look, give them a try. DH Labs, again, a really awesome company. I like them because they're not as concerned with filling a price point as they are giving you a very quality product that does, in fact, what they're saying it's supposed to do, right? So I like that. And don't get me wrong, the transparency I had before, the hard wire anyway, I don't know if that's transparent exactly or some introductory company that split off onto their own. I don't know how the internal structure of that has worked. If you do, go ahead and hit me up. But they're good. Don't get me wrong. They really blew my mind. I had no idea Ethernet cables could make that big a difference. And the first time I picked those up, it was night and day. I was surprised, and even these are night and day from that, and that's crazy. But again, these are only Category 6. So they're not Cat 7, they're not Cat 8, and they're certainly not quite as robust as the DH Labs. So I'm glad that I took this step because I felt it was a good way to future-proof my system for sure. Obviously, as we get higher resolution and further invested in video games with the amount of space they take up and so on, it's very difficult to stream that effortlessly through a Cat 6 because you're pushing the limit of what the modem and router are capable of. Really, you're really just sitting on the threshold, and in my opinion, I've noticed a lot more effortlessness. So clearly, Cat 6 has been, exceeded by a little bit. Its theoretical limit was only like a gig anyway, and I'll be honest with you, that's its limit. So it's not capable of really catching up with gig speed systems, which I have. This is a gig speed from Comcast. So in my opinion, if you do have gig speed and above, you want that really effortless transfer of data. You're a gamer, you are a high-res streamer, high-definition streamer, ultra-high-definition streamer. You've got to pick something like this up because it has far more, lanes on the freeway, essentially, right? And the lanes are bigger. There's some big conductors. 22 AWG is big. Speaker wire, in the case of like Bose systems, they're sent out with 24 gauge wire. So that tells you right there, right? So in my opinion, this is a great next step for those of you who are looking to take something like this, $500 modem, $200 modem, $500 router to the next level. You really want to make these perform at what they're capable of, you can't stick with a Cat 6. You can't do it. So, in my opinion, if you're going this route, give the DH Labs a try. I like them, and they're a beautiful, well-made, American-built cable, just fantastic. So, highly recommended by me. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I so much appreciate it. I always do. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and of course, hit the little bell icon in case you want to see future videos. And I will talk at you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.